Made for kids? Oh, orange bitch! Believe it to that, I say, you little bitches! The island of Sodor, a small but very special place just off the coast of England, home of the North Western Railway. Everywhere on Sodor, engines work hard to be responsible, reliable, and really useful. And there's nothing more than anything the engines like to be than really useful. Whether it's working at the docks, or shunting about in the yards, or even if it's working on the much smaller railways of the island. But no matter the job, the engines are much happier to live on Sodor. How about a race, Thomas? Okay, Bertie, let's race. First one to the next station wins.
Oh no, not again.
Oh, honestly, Bertie, I wish you would be more careful.
Those two never change, do they? I can do it. I know I can win.
Oh, hello, Thomas.
Good morning, Mrs. Kindly. Ha ha ha! I win again, Bertie. That's 5 in a row this week. Okay, you win, Thomas. I can never get over that hill fast enough. Haha! And the winner of this grand race and still the #1 engine of everything he does is none other than...
Thomas the Tank Engine!
Uh-oh.
What did I tell you about having a race with Bertie?
Not to race at dangerous speeds.
That's right. You know how the passengers feel about being bounced around like peas in a frying pan. And that goes for you too, Bertie.
Sorry, sir.
Oh, it's just as well. The branch line will have to be closed until further notice.
What? No, please, sir. I promise I'll behave. Don't take away my branch line.
Now, settle down, Thomas. Let me explain. This is for another reason. You see, I've received numerous complaints from the passengers about bumpy travels. So I took a ride on your train, and up to the point before you started your race, I've noticed how bumpy the tracks are getting. It's getting to that time again when we'll have to replace the rails. So I'll have to find another job for you while the line is closed for repairs. Bertie can look after your passengers.
Oh, yes, sir. I understand.
Honestly, Thomas, when are you going to learn? You have to be more responsible and less of a cheeky engine. It was one thing when you first had your race as Bertie back then, but this is getting way out of hand.
Who was that?
Good job, boys. Keep up the good work.
Oh no, it's him. After everything we've been through, you two still treat me like a silly little engine.
We were only looking out for you, Thomas. We didn't mean to upset you, but you do tend to get carried away. Besides, we were going to tell you about the buckled tracks, but then you laced Bertie before you were about to.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Thomas?
Where's Percy? He should have been here by now. He's gonna make me late if he doesn't get...
Thomas?
Cinders and ashes, a monster!
It's okay, Thomas. I think he's gone now.
Whoa, what was that thing? It looked like a diesel engine.
Sorry I'm late, Thomas. I was held up at the station and then Thomas, is there something wrong?
I don't know, Percy, but I did see something that made my wheels wobble.
With Harvey away to repair the tracks on Thomas's branch line, this new engine shall do his job of trackside maintenance to help keep our railway clean and tidy.
I just know it's going to be one of those mainland diesels who thinks they're better than any of us.
Oh, I doubt that, Gordon. I'm sure he'll be friendly like Boko, Salty, and Mavis. Or maybe it'll be big and scary with a claw on its roof. Oh, Henry, that's ridiculous. There's no such thing as a diesel with a claw on its roof.
Actually, James, I think he's right. Because look what's coming!
Ah, yes. You must be the new engine. What's your name?
Indeed I am, sir. They call me Diesel 10.
Diesel to 10? What does a 10 mean?
It means 10 out of 10. I was the 10th of my class to be built.
Oh, you don't say.
Well, actually, my real name is Bruce, but I like Diesel 10 much better. It sounds more unique.
Why do you have a claw on top of you?
That claw, Henry, happens to be the ideal tool necessary for picking up things close to the tracks, such as tree branches or even derelict parts.
I like to call it Pinchy because it pinches when it grabs. Say hello, Pinchy.
Ahem. Okay, Diesel 10, I think we get the point. Now then, why don't you and, Pinchy go and clean up the yards near the shed to get started?
Yes, sir. Right away. What are you looking at, Tin Kettle?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering if you need any help.
I don't need any help from some old puffball, but there is something you could do. Give yourself up for scrap! Can't stay to chat though, I've got work to do. Come on, Pinchy. Well, what do we have here? A little green goblin on 4 wheels who only pulls so few trucks.
Goblin, now you listen here.
I'm all ears.
I'm more like a green caterpillar with red stripes.
Good to know. So long.
You're that diesel with the claw who gave me a fright earlier.
Yeah, and what's it to you, Puffball?
Puffball? Now wait just a minute. Just ignore him, Thomas. Besides, that's not even the real problem here. He's right, so move your big can opener. You're holding us up.
I would if I could, Scuffy boy, but I can't.
Well, somebody had better move him or we'll all be late. Well, it's about time.
I had a feeling I'd find you two here on this railway. Thanks for pushing me out of the way, Splodge.
I hate it when he calls us that.
Splodge? Wait, does he know those two?
That claw on him makes him seem like some sort of super diesel.
He's more like a monster. That claw looked like a pair of teeth that could bite into my boiler.
And he's a bully. Every time he passes one of us, he snaps his claw at us and calls us names. I don't understand why the Fat Control would even bring such a brute to Sodor. He's obviously got it out for us. Most diesels do. Most diesels, Thomas. But engines like Salty, Mavis, Boko, Dennis Bear, and even Daisy are good and not like the ones on the mainland. Besides, it's best if we not think about it too much. Maybe we should try talking about something else. That should help.
But what did we talk about? All we can think of is that big scary Diesel 10.
Well, maybe one of us could tell a story.
Now there's an idea. A story is just where we need to get our minds off that big brute.
Well then, that settles it. Does anyone have a good story to tell?
How about the story about my trip to London years ago?
No way!
Come on,
We've all
Gordon.
heard it before.
Well, I've got one. In fact, this is one story I've never told anyone before.
Really?
What's it about?
Actually, it's not so much a story. It's more like a legend. It's called The Legend of the Lost Engine. It was during the time of the Golden Jubilee, a special engine was built in honor of Her Majesty Queen Victoria. The engine's name was Lady. She was a very special engine with a smokebox and trims made of gold. She was also a very helpful and kind engine, always willing to work no matter the job. She mostly took passengers, but she especially escorted the Queen on her travels around Britain. Eventually, Lady was sold to the Sodor and Mainland Railway, which was what the Northwestern Railroad was called back in those days. She didn't mind that a bit. She was just happy to be really useful wherever she was, and she was very popular with the other engines there. She was even quick to make friends with the hanging on the narrow gauge railway like Starlowy and Reneas. She was even granted her very own branch line with 3 coaches. For many years she looked after the line and never even had one accident. But one day, everything changed. As she was backing into a row of stone trucks, she couldn't stop, and then she pushed an engine into a set of buffers. The buffers broke apart, and the engine was pushed further off the truss and into a line-side hut. Then Lady ran away. Later that same day, a strange man spoke to the railway controller and made an offer for Lady. The controller accepted and promised to deliver her to the scrapyard the very next day. However, she never went to the scrapyard the next day. It was a mystery to everyone. That night, Lady was sleeping in the shed like normal, but the next morning, she disappeared, vanished without a trace.
Why? What happened to her?
That's just it, Percy. No one knew. They searched all over the island and parts of the mainland, but found nothing. Some believe she ran away in the middle of the night and fell off a dock into the sea. Others thought she never even existed and it was all just their imagination. But I believe she's still out there somewhere. She might even still be on the island, in a place none of us have ever been to before.
Stuff and nonsense. An engine just can't disappear and remain hidden for so long.
Oh, what about Bertram? Toby found him at the old mine. And what about Great Waterton? Thomas found that. Just imagine, a lost engine. It would certainly be amazing if we could find her.
Thomas, you don't actually believe such an engine exists, do you? Edward was just trying to entertain us. There's no such thing as an engine with gold trims.
If Edward says there is such an engine, there is. Besides, when have you ever known Edward to make up stories? I know I can find her if I tried.
Ha! I could find that engine easily if she was real. I can find just about anything if necessary.
Really? Like the time you found scary Jack Frost?
It's good to know there are other leaders on this island beside me and Splodge.
Thomas, can you take that old truck to the works? It's been here for a while and taking up space.
You wouldn't say that if you had actually abused me every once in a while, you old chuffer.
And I don't care much for its attitude. Just be careful, Thomas. That one to me very troublesome.
Come on. Is this the best you can do? A turtle can move faster than this.
Shut up! You're doing this on purpose. I'll show you.
Come on, Thomas. We're almost there. You can do it. Silly little Thomas. Can't even get up the hill with one single truck. How embarrassing.
It's not funny.
Not again!
Now it's funny. So how many times has it been this year?
I actually lost count after 75.
Okay, Thomas, let's try again.
I won't go.
Oh, no, you don't. Almost there. That didn't sound good.
Runaway truck!
On, faster.
Huh? What the?
Uh-oh.
That didn't sound good either. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. The truck just...
Why, you little!
Thomas, run! Look out, Edward! He's after me!
Why is he in such a rush? And who's after him?
I'll get you, you little blue puffball! Come back here!
Oh my.
I'll knock your slurry boiler right off the tracks! You'll have to slow down eventually.
Thomas!
What was that thing?
Keep your claw away from me! I said I was sorry!
Sorry, isn't good enough.
Leave him alone, you big metal monster.
I've got you now. You got up lucky this time, Puffball, but next time I'll make sure you don't get away. You hear me? You're scrap metal, shrimp.
It's okay, Thomas. I don't think he's after us anymore. We're safe now. Thank goodness. Did you see what he tried to do to me with that claw? I don't feel safe with him on the island. Where exactly are we on the island? This looks like an old depot, but it doesn't look like anyone's been here in a long time. I haven't seen one of those things in a while.
Hello? Is anyone out there?
Who said that? Are you a ghost?
A ghost? Heavens no. Although, if I was a ghost, I'd be more afraid of you.
Can you see any water in there? Yes, but it's very brown and full of rust chippings, and there's pond scum. Yuck! I'm not drinking that. There's someone who would like to meet you, Thomas.
You must be Thomas. Your driver told me about you. It's nice to see another engine after so many years. My name is Lady.
Lady? Your name is Lady?
Yes, it's even written on my side.
Then you're the lost engine.
Lost engine? I don't think I understand. Have you heard of me before?
Yes, from my friend Edward. He told me and the others about you.
My, that's a very interesting story, but that's not the whole story, I'm afraid.
You mean there's more?
Yes. You see, that accident I had really did happen, but your friend doesn't know how or why I had the accident. Let me explain. One day I was resting in a siding when an engine pulling stone came in. He was waiting to let a passenger train go by. Just then, I felt like someone was inside my cab, fiddling with the controls. The next thing I knew, I was moving forward out of the siding. I kept going until I stopped outside the point. Then I heard footsteps from behind. I couldn't see who it was, but then I heard the point swing, and then the footsteps again. Suddenly, I began to move backwards. I was picking up speed, and I couldn't stop myself, not without my driver. Well, you already know what happened.
Wait, someone made you crash? Who would do such a thing?
Me and my driver had a feeling it was that same man who wanted to buy me for scrap. P.T. Boomer. He was being all too willing to get me for any price. The railway controller back then agreed to the deal and told Boomer to get me the next day. That controller was not a good man. In fact, the only thing he ever cared about was the money, not the well-being of the railroad. My driver, Burnett Stone, knew this was unfair and decided he wanted to keep me safe, so he made a difficult decision. Late that night, he came to take me away where no one would ever find me. Not the railway controller, not PT Boomer, not anyone. So we cautiously and quietly made our way out of the yard and onto a part of my branch line I had never been to before. He brought me to an old yard and put me inside this shed. Then he cleaned and polished me one last time before leaving. As he was closing the door, he looked back. He told me that one day he would return and that all would be all right for the both of us. But until then, to keep safe and have faith, then a small tear came from his eye and said, "Goodbye, lady," and then he closed the door. So I waited. Days became weeks, weeks into months and months to years, and Burnett still never returned. I was sure something had happened to him. A terrible storm came one day and destroyed the roof of the shed. I was exposed to the harsh elements of the weather. Wind, rain, and snow fell inside and ruined my beautiful paint. I felt very cold and alone. I thought no one would ever find me, so in a way, I guess, I really was the lost engine. I've been in here ever since, and now I'm certain Burnett Stone will never come back for me.
Lady, I think you've been in here long enough. I can get you out of here and you can be a really useful engine again.
What? Are you sure? Is it really safe for me to come out again?
Of course it's safe. This isn't the Sodor and Mainland Railway anymore. It's now the Northwestern Railway, and Sir Topham Hatt is our best controller.
Oh, thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I've waited so long for this day. Oh, I almost forgot how beautiful the sky looks when it's not obscured by roof holes. Well, you know much about me. Tell me a bit about yourself, Thomas. What work do you do?
Well, let me see. I shunt coaches and trucks, I have my very own branch line, and 2 of my own coaches named Annie and Clarabelle, and I...
Wait, Annie and Clarabelle? They're still around?
You know Annie and Clarabelle?
Of course I do. They were 2 of my old coaches from back in the day. I had 3 coaches altogether. There was Annie, Dorothy, and Clarabelle. We all got along well together and became best friends. The passengers thought they were the smartest looking coaches they had ever seen on the railway.
Who's Dorothy? I've known Annie and Clarabelle for many years and they never told me about her.
You mean you don't have Dorothy with them? That can't be. They're inseparable. Something must have happened.
Well, the cosmic damage is a bit worn, but everything else checks out. All she needs is some coal and water, and some oil for her joints, and she can move just fine. That's wonderful news, and once the Fat Controller sees how useful she is, he can have her restored. It's best if we take her back with us to the yard just in case we forget this place again, unless we have another run with Diesel 10. Oh no, I forgot! If that big bully Diesel sees me, I'm as good as done for, and who knows what he'll do to Lady if he sees her like this.
What's a Diesel? And who's Diesel 10? Oh my goodness, that's horrible. He sounds even worse than Boomer.
So what do? We can't let him see her like this or else she's off to the scrap yards. But how can we hide an engine like Lady while we go down the main line where everyone will see us?
Ah, Edward, I heard about the mess. Good work. Now tell me, where is Thomas? He was supposed to be here.
Oh, well, you see, sir.
I shall have a word with Diesel 10. This behavior is unacceptable. Diesel 10, I've heard about your little chase with Thomas. You have caused confusion.
But I was in the truck.
And I will not tolerate this negative feeling you have towards my engines. I'm sure you felt upset when the accident occurred, but that is no excuse to threaten any of my engines. I know for a fact that Thomas would never let something like this happen intentionally, and I think you owe him an apology. And if you step out of line one more time, I shall send you back to the mainland never to return. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I do, sir.
Ah, Thomas, there you are. I believe Diesel 10 has something he would like to say to you. Isn't that right?
I'm sorry for chasing after you, Thomas. I was wrong to do that. I now know it was just an accident.
Oh, well, thank you, Diesel 10. Apology accepted.
Good. Then that is settled. Now then, Thomas, I would like you to come to Knapford as soon as you can. I have another job for you.
Well, now that this is settled, I think maybe we can start over. You know, try to be friends?
Let's get one thing straight, Puffball. I didn't come here to make any friends. I'm here to work, and I would never be friends with a steam engine. Get in my way again, and I'll rip your funnel off. Now scram! Wait a minute. What are you doing with those trucks?
Nothing!
You're late, Bear. You should have been here 10 minutes ago.
I know, but I was held up at Barrow.
Well, I wouldn't be too critical, Golden. After all, you were late too. What? But it wasn't even my fault. It was that big hill again. It always slows me down when I have too many passengers on board the express. Oh, right. The hill was responsible. Well, I suppose it can't be helped. So long, little brother. I hate it when he calls me that.
I'm back! And I got the coal and water, just like I said.
Thank you, Thomas. Now all I need is a driver. But I'm surprised you would go to all this trouble just for me.
We engines always help out one another no matter what, because no job is more important than helping your friends.
We're friends?
Of course we are. I'll come and visit you whenever I can until I can find you a good driver.
Thomas, thank goodness you're okay. Emily told me she saw you being chased on the main line by Diesel 10.
I was. He chased me all the way to the old Peel Goddard branch line where I found...
Found what? Thomas, is there something going on?
Well...
Thomas, say something. I thought we were friends. Whatever it is, you can trust me. You know that.
Okay, Percy, I'll tell you, but you can't tell anyone. Not yet, anyway.
You have my word, Thomas. Not a soul.
Okay, here it is. I found Lady, the lost engine.
You what? Shh! Sorry. You what? Thomas, that's amazing. I can't believe you actually found her.
I know! I couldn't believe it myself when I saw her. So now I'm trying to help her be really useful again. I just need to find her a driver.
Oh, Thomas, please let me help. If there's anything I could do for her, anything at all.
Well, I suppose there is one thing you could do. Could you ask around, find out what happened to Lady's original driver, Burnett Stone, but don't mention anything about Lady. Remember, Percy, you can't tell anyone about her.
I knew he was up to something, and I'm going to find out what. Right, Pinchy?
Ah, Thomas, just the engine I wanted to speak with. I have a special job for you this evening. I would like you to collect Annie and Carabel and take the evening local.
Yes, sir. You can count on me.
That's a good engine.
Now listen up, Splodge. That blue puffball and his green saddle tank friend are hiding something, and I want you two to spy on them and find out what they're up to.
Oh, sure thing, boss. What are they up to?
I don't know. That's what I want you to find out, you lunkheads.
Oh, right.
That little blue teapot got me into trouble with Fat Hat, and I'm going to get back at him by ruining whatever it is he's up to. Then he'll be sorry.
I'm sorry, Percy, but in those days I was still working on my old tramway up in Owlsdale End. I wish I could be more helpful to you.
That's alright, Toby. I forgot you didn't come here yet until after me. She was quick to make friends with engines on the narrow gauge railway like Skarloey and Rheneas. That's right. Skarloey's been here since the S&M days. He might know something about Bernard Stone. Skarloey, I have to talk to you.
Oh, hello, Percy. What's got you so excited?
Well, it's just that you've been on Sodor for a really long time, so I was wondering if you knew anything about someone from long ago.
Well, I suppose I can try to remember, but I've known a lot of passengers, visitors, and railway workers in my time. Of course, it all depends on who it is.
Okay, here it is. What do you know about Bernard Stone?
Bernard Stone? I haven't thought about him in years. Why do you want to know about him?
It's complicated. I just want to know what happened to him.
Well, I don't know much, Percy. All I remember is that he drove a very special engine he always took great care of. But years ago, both he and the engine had disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. It's a complete mystery.
So that's what Percy's up to. He's trying to find out about this Bernard Stone guy. But I wonder why.
You are holding up the line. Make way for the Duke and Duchess.
Oops!
If you're still thinking about trying to find that lost engine, then you're wasting your time. There's no such thing. You would just go running around in circles all over the island. Annie, Clarabelle, can I ask you two something?
What is it, Thomas?
Well, we've known each other for a long time, and we're always open to one another about, well, everything.
Of course, Thomas. We're always honest with you.
So then why haven't you told me about your sister Dorothy?
What? Where did you... How did you know we had a sister named Dorothy?
Let's just say that someone told me about it. So why haven't you two told me? I saw you trusted me.
Well, it's just that we don't like to talk about it that much. We've wanted to tell you for so long.
Did something happen between you three?
In a way, yes. But we never had a falling out. We got along splendidly, all three of us. This was a very long time ago, back when the railway was the S&M. We were painted in clump purple with gold stripes and white. The railway had built us in honor of an engine who was given her own branch line. We all got along well with the engine and became very close friends. She was so kind and generous, and she never ever bumped us or even played tricks on us. We had never been so happy. But then one day, we were waiting in the yard for our engine, but she never came that day. Word had spread that she had disappeared the night before, and no one could find her, so we were kept in the shed for a very long time. Until one day, the controller of the S&M railway came to us and said that we were taking up space in the shed and that we weren't useful anymore. That controller was not nice and didn't know how to treat a coach or any of his engines. Naturally, we felt insulted, but we didn't say anything to him. But Dorsey was fed up with the controller's attitude and took a stand. She started arguing with him and throwing insults, and then she called him a very harsh name that made the entire yard go silent.
What did she call him?
You don't want to know, Thomas. The controller was so cross with Dorsey that he decided to make an example of what happened to those who talked back to him. So he took her away from us, and then he sort of a scrap.
Cinders and ashes. That's horrible!
We wanted to tell you for so long, Thomas, but we just couldn't bear the memory. But Thomas, who told you about Dorsey anyway?
I'm not going to lie to you two. I may as well tell you who told me. It was the engine who took care of you back in those days. It was Lady. But you can't tell anyone about her.
Lady? Our old engine? You found her? Thank goodness. I thought we'd never hear from her again. Don't worry, Thomas. Your secret is safe with us.
You know, I still can't believe all of this. You lose Dorothy, Lady runs away into hiding, and all this because she had one accident with some random engine which wasn't even her fault.
Thomas, that wasn't just any engine Lady crashed into. That was Edward.
Edward?
Hello, Thomas. I'm sorry. I asked all around, but no one knew anything about Bernard Stone.
It's okay, Percy. I know you did your best. But there's gotta be someone who knows what happened to him.
Excuse me? I couldn't help but overhear what you said, and I think I can help you too.
Oh, hello. We didn't notice you. Who might you be?
My name is Lillian Stone, but you can call me Lily. As it just so happens, Bernard Stone was my grandfather, and I can tell you what happened.
Really? That's wonderful. Oh, and my name is Percy.
And I'm Thomas. So what did happen to your grandfather?
My grandfather told me he used to be an engineer on this island long ago. However, he had retired and was living in Bristol when he met my grandmother, Tasha. Eventually they got married and started a family. Years later, when his son, my father, had grown up and moved out, he moved to a quiet place in the countryside and started an orchard. I would often visit him when my parents were away, and we got along very well. He even told me stories of when he was an engineer for a special engine he drove once. It was right then and there that I decided to be an engineer when I grew up. So, my parents sent me to school and I learned everything I needed to know about being a good railway engineer. On the day of my graduation, however, my grandfather was nowhere to be seen. We got the news later that he had passed away the night before my graduation.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry about that. I suppose that explains a lot. So, why are you here on Sodor now?
Before he died, my grandfather wrote in his will that I was to inherit his most prized possession, his engine, which he calls Lady. I was given a map to an old shed where the engine was kept, but when I arrived, the shed was empty. I guess someone had found her already. Well, it was nice talking to you two, but I'm just waiting to take the next train to the mainland.
No, wait! Lily, I know the engine you're looking for, and I know where she is.
You do?
Yes, Thomas found her.
It's kind of a long story, but I only wanted to help her. Do you still want to see her?
Oh, yes! Yes, I do. Please, take me to her.
Okay, meet me back here tomorrow morning and I'll take you to her.
Thank you, Thomas. I will.
So that's what he's up to. Oh, wait till I tell the boss, and then he'll say,
You idiots! I give you one simple job and that's all you have to tell me?
But boss, we did what you told us to do.
You were supposed to find out what that blue puffball was up to, but instead you give me these stories about some old man and his granddaughter and some special old engine day. That old engine wouldn't happen to be a steam engine, would it?
Well, I suppose it is possible. It was a long time ago.
So that's why he had that coal and water. He's hiding that engine and trying to help her. This is perfect!
Yeah, it is. We knew it would please you, boss, didn't we?
Another steamy for the scrap pile. This'll teach that Thomas what happened when he crossed his diesel 10, and I get to send that old tin kettle to the scrap heap. It'll be like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or 2 steamies with 1 claw. So, where can I find this old engine?
Well, we don't know. Thomas must have hidden her really well, so we...
What? Well then you two go back out there and find her! Now!
Yes, boss. Right away, boss. We're on it.
You know those two aren't very dependable. They won't find a thing in this darkness.
Huh? Who said that?
Oh, just another diesel. A devious diesel. and I can help you find this engine. All it takes is a little espionage.
You strangely interest me. Keep talking.
Where's Edward? He's usually back by now.
He's staying at Wellsworth tonight so he can start work early tomorrow. He said that I could sleep here in his place tonight.
Why do you ask, Thomas? Is there something you wanted to say to him? Well, yes. I wanted to ask him about something that may have involved him long ago.
You can just ask him tomorrow, Thomas. Just go to sleep.
Oh, all right. Come on, Thomas. We haven't time to bother with Percy. We have to go meet up with Lily.
That's strange. The next train isn't scheduled for another hour. Why have the gates closed? What's Thomas doing up so early? And where's he going?
Uh-oh. That looked like the Fat Controller's car. I just hope he'll understand.
Hello, Thomas. What are you doing here so early?
Edward, I have to ask you something about that story you told the night before.
You mean the one about the lost engine? What about it?
Well, that part where Lady crashed into the back of a train and pushed an engine off the rails and into a shed. Were you that engine?
Well, what? How did you figure it was me? I never even said it was.
Annie and Clarabelle told me. I also know that they used to be ladies' coaches and that they had a sister named Dorothy until the S&M railway controller scrapped her.
Oh, then yes. I'm that very engine who had that accident with Lady all those years ago.
What accident from long ago?
And who's Lady?
And why didn't you just say it was you who Lady ran into by accident?
Because I was too ashamed of myself to tell any of you. Because I felt it was my fault she had disappeared.
What do you mean you thought it was your fault? What did happen back then?
Well, back then I was still new to Sodor, having just arrived from the Furnace Railway. I was young and very eager to prove myself. That day, I was just waiting in the siding for the passenger train to go by. But I was rather being careless and not paying attention to my surroundings. My driver had just released my brakes and was about to back us out of the siding and onto the line again, but then, well... When I came back from the works a few days later, Lady was already gone. I wanted to tell her how sorry I was for getting her into trouble with the S&M relay controller, but when I heard that she was being sold for scrap, I had feared the worst. Until I heard that she never made it to a scrapyard, I felt that I was responsible for all of this. And I've been living with that guilt even to this day. When I heard that the controller had scrapped Annie and Clarabelle's sister, I was distraught. I wanted to do what I could to make up for my mistake, but nothing ever changed how I felt. And I don't think it will.
But Edward, you don't have to feel bad about what happened. In fact, the accident wasn't even your fault, nor was it Lady's.
But what makes you so sure it wasn't?
Well, in your story, you said that a man came to buy Lady for scrap. That man wouldn't have to have been P.T. Boomer, would it?
How did you... Yes, that's right. He used to own the well to a scrapyard. He was the one who made an offer for Lady.
Well, I think he was the one who caused the accident by sneaking into Lady's cab and making her crash into your train.
You know, come to think of it, that would explain Boomer's behavior after Lady had disappeared.
What do you mean, Edward? What happened to him?
Well, Boomer was going around the railway blowing up tunnels, tearing down sheds, and causing all sorts of trouble, almost as if he was trying to find something. But his rampage did last. It wasn't long until the authorities got wind of his actions. They found him carrying crates of dynamite over to a line-side shed, so he was placed under arrest and sentenced to life in prison. And I should know because I helped them track him down and apprehend him. I suppose it would make sense why he wanted Lady so badly. Since she had golden trims, he would have made a fortune cutting her up and selling them, but I'm just glad he never got the chance. I only wish that Lady was still here.
Don't worry, Edward. She will. Thanks for telling me what really happened that day. I'd better get going.
you are, Thomas. But where are your coaches?
I guess I forgot to collect them. I was in such a hurry, but that's okay. You can ride in my cab.
Now we'll see where he's hiding that old engine.
Thomas, is that you?
Hello, lady. I have good news. Today's the day. This is Lily. She's Bernard Stone's granddaughter.
Really? That's just so wonderful.
He told me all about you, lady. And you're just as he described you to be. You're beautiful.
She will be once she's fully restored. Come on, let's get her steamed up. The coal and water is right over here, Miss Stone.
So that's the old engine. Diesel 10 will be pleased.
Ouch!
Let that be a lesson to you. Now learn your place. So, did you find her?
Well, we did search for her, and so far, we haven't found her yet. We've checked every siding and shed on this railway, but we still don't know where she is.
Well, that's alright. Everyone has a hard time once in a while. No harm, no foul.
Oh, well, gee, that's actually very nice to say. You know, for a second there, we thought you were gonna get mad and yell at us.
You bumbling blockheads! I was being sarcastic. Of course I'm mad. Can't you two do anything right? It can't be that hard to find this engine. I bet you two weren't even trying.
Because they weren't. Unlike me, I was able to follow that Thomas without him even noticing me.
So you were able to find the engine he was hiding?
Yes, they're both at an old hidden siding in a grove.
Well done, Diesel. You're as clever as you're as devious. Take me to them at once.
Right away, Diesel 10. It's not much farther now. Thomas and that old lost engine will surely be surprised when we show up.
Oh, they'll be more than just surprised.
Is there something wrong, Edward? You seem a little sad.
Oh, it's nothing though. I was just thinking.
About that lost engine?
Among other things, but mostly what Thomas meant before he left. I don't know if he was only trying to cheer me up, or if he was trying to tell me something. And if I had just been more careful back in those days, Leigh wouldn't have disappeared. I know it wasn't my fault, but I still feel guilty about it.
What's past is past, Edward, and we know it wasn't your fault. And if Thomas was trying to tell you something, maybe he actually found the lost engine. Like that would never happen.
Poor Dorothy. She didn't deserve to be scrapped.
Okay, she's all set and ready to move.
All gauges checked and working well. As soon as we get you to Knapford, you'll be one step closer to full restoration.
Thank you, Lily. I couldn't ask for anyone more deserving than you to be my driver.
Well, come on. The sooner we see the Fat Controller, the better everything will be.
Aha! So this is what you've been up to. I thought you were hiding something from me, and it looks like I was right all along.
Diesel 10?
And this must be the lost engine I've heard about.
So, you're Diesel 10. Thomas was right. You really are a big, scary brute.
Flattery will get you nowhere. Excellent work, Diesel. You've led me right to them like you said.
Diesel? You gave us away? How could you?
This railway already has too many steam engines. Besides, she's long overdue to be scrapped.
Spoken like a true Diesel, I couldn't agree more. And it doesn't matter if she can still work or not. Her next stop will be the scrapyard followed by the smelters. And guess what, Puffball? You get to join her!
Wait, you mean you're going to scrap Thomas along with Lady too?
Well, of course I am. He's the whole reason I was looking for this old engine anyway.
But you never said anything about hurting Thomas. Isn't scrapping this old engine enough for you?
No, it isn't. I still owe that blue puffball for getting me into trouble with Fat Hat yesterday.
What? All this was just because he got you in trouble with the Fat Controller? That's so harsh that even I wouldn't go this far.
And you got into trouble yesterday because you chased me down the main line. You got what was coming to you.
Now listen here, Diesel. You can either stay here and help me deal with this blue puffball and his little friend, or you can just back away and leave me to do it myself. Make your choice. Are you with me or against me? That's what I thought. Pathetic. Now get out of my way, puffball. Your lost engine is first. I said get out of my way!
Over my cold rusted boiler!
Have it your way, then. You're first.
Thomas!
Huh? You leave Thomas alone, you heavy metal monster!
Diesel? Now you're helping us? Whose side are you on anyway?
Never mind that. Just go. Get out of here. Go. I can't hold him for much longer.
Thank you, Diesel.
Grr! You traitor! Grr! That blue puffer's not getting away this time. And I'll be back for you later, traitor.
Why me?
Thomas, there's another engine coming along our line.
It's James! Thomas, what are you playing at? And who is that? It's the lost engine, James, and Dieselton is chasing after us! You really expect me to believe that?
Puffball!
Suddenly I believe him.
Thomas, look out! He's right behind you!
Lady, is that really you?
Grrr! Here I come, Tin Kettle!
Oh, stay back! Hi, Emily! Bye, Emily!
Oh, not again.
This hill is a lot steeper than I remember it.
You can do it, lady! Her brakes are stuck tight. I can't keep her steady.
Hold on, Lily. I'll help you too.
Oh, no you don't!
Too fast, too fast.
Oh my goodness.
Hurry, Thomas! I still can't get her brakes unstuck.
Just hold on, Lily. I'll couple up and make you stop. Try shutting off steam.
Oh, No, no, no! It can't be! My claw's broken!
That's it, Thomas. Just a little bit closer.
Good job, Lily. Now hold on. I'm gonna slow us down.
Thomas, there's a station up ahead, and the points are diverting us into the siding. We're going to crash.
What? Oh no! Lily, grab onto something. I'm gonna use my brakes.
Hurry, Thomas. We're running out of track. Phew. Thank goodness.
Is everyone alright?
We're okay, Thomas. Thanks to you.
Uh-oh. Sir, please, I can explain. You see, this engine is...
There's no need for that, Thomas. I already know. Percy told me everything, and I must say I'm very proud of you for looking out for this special engine. So I shall arrange for Lady to go to the works and be fully restored to her original beauty. And Thomas, you will receive a new coat of paint.
Hello, you must be the lost engine I've heard about. It's nice to meet you.
And you must be Percy. Thomas told me all about you, but I never did guess you would be so handsome.
And Miss Stone, I would be more than happy if you will consider joining our railway as Lady's driver.
Oh my... Yes! Thank you, Sir Top Ham Hat. I will.
I warned you that I would send you back to the mainland if you misbehaved again. Yet you did anyway. But I have changed my mind. I will not send you back. Instead, you shall remain here at the diesel works. And you are forbidden to leave the ground of this area until you learn to control your temper and use your claw responsibly. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Come on, it could have been worse. And you know the old saying, no use crying over spilled milk. Too soon?
And as for you, Diesel, Thomas told me about what you said. There is no such thing as too many one-of-a-kind engines. However, Thomas and Lady also told me about how you helped them in the end. So for your punishment, you will do Dieselton's job of trackside maintenance work until Harvey comes back from mending the tracks on Thomas's branch line. So I expect to see you working hard till then.
Today's the day, Thomas. I just can't wait.
Me too, Percy. It's been 3 days since we brought her in. I wonder how she'll look.
Thomas and Percy? What's going on here? And who are you excited to see?
Let's just say it's an old friend of yours from long ago, Edward. Wow, lady. You look beautiful with your new paint.
Thank you, Thomas. I picked the purple myself. I like it a lot better than my crimson red.
I don't believe it. Lady? Is that really you? I saw you were gone forever.
Yes, Edward, it is me, and you have no reason to feel guilty. If anything, I should be the one apologizing to you.
Oh, lady, you have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you.
The Fat Controller gave me this outfit as a way of welcoming me to the Northwestern Railway as an official driver. Now I can follow in my grandfather's footsteps.
Your branch line is finally repaired, Thomas. Annie and Clarabelle are waiting for you right now to collect your passengers. And lady, I have an important job for you. I need you to take those trucks to the diesel works so that the diesel will have plenty of fuel to work.
Sir, if it's alright with you, could I take the fuel to the diesel works instead? Lady could look after my branch line today.
Very well then, Thomas. Be quick now. Lady, go and collect Annie and Clarabelle in the yards.
It feels just like old times. If only poor Dorsey was here to see this. We've missed you so much, lady. We were so worried when you had vanished all those years ago. It's so good to have you back.
And I've missed you as well. You know, I almost didn't recognize you two with your orange paint.
It's more of a tan color, but I guess it's close.
Well, either way, it looks good on you two. Real smart.
What are you doing here, Thomas? This place is for diesels only. And haven't you caused enough trouble for the boss already?
I'm just here to deliver some fuel for you guys. That's all.
I thought that new engine friend of yours was gonna bring the fuel. Why are you really here? You know you've got a lot of nerve to come here.
Oh, alright. I'm here to see Diesel 10. I want to settle things with him so that there won't be any more problems between me and him.
He's in the back shed, but he's not really in the mood for visitors, especially steamy visitors.
Hello? Mr. Diesel 10, sir? I just wanted to see if...
Her! What are you doing here, Puffball? I'm not in the mood for visitors, especially you.
I just wanted to make amends with you. I know we haven't exactly gotten along well since you first came to Sodor, but I hope we can just set that all aside and try to get along. I'm sure deep down you want that too.
I thought I already told you. I didn't come here to make friends, especially with a steam engine. Besides, I don't think you have to worry about me anymore. I don't even care about that engine.
Oh, well, okay. I guess that's fine. But before I leave, can I just ask you something? Why are you so moody all the time? And why do you hate steam engines?
What's it to you anyway? What I do and hate is my business and mine alone. I wouldn't expect someone like you to understand.
Well, you're right about one thing. I don't understand. and I can't unless you tell me. I'm only trying to help you.
Help me? Help me? You don't even know me. You can't understand why I hate steam engines as much as the next diesel.
Then tell me, why do you hate steam engines?
Because a steam engine killed my brother! That's why!
What?
My brother, Bentley, he was killed off by a steam engine. He tricked my brother into taking a train of explosives. And they were rigged to blow at a specific time. By the time we found out, it was too late. Since then, I lost all respect for steam engines. I never did hurt any of them back then, and I don't know why he did it. That steam engine disappeared in the mainland somewhere, and no one had seen or heard from him since. Years later, I had this claw installed on me as an experiment. But the steam engines on the mainland were all afraid of me.
I'm sorry about your brother, but not all steam engines are like that. Me and my friends would never consider doing something so horrid. I can understand if you want to be alone right now.
Just get out of my sight and leave me alone! Little blue pest. Still, he's pretty brave coming here by himself. I'll give him that.
After much consideration, I had decided that Lady would make a great addition to the Norrumby branch line along with Arthur. So, she will be taking passengers.
Sir, does this mean I have to give Annie and Clarabelle back to Lady? They were originally her coaches back then.
No, Thomas. They're your coaches now, and I can think of no one else I'd rather have looking after them but you.
Lady may have been our engine back then, but will always be loyal to you, Thomas.
Besides, I've already found the perfect coach for Lady to take on the branch line.
Wait, is that who I think it is?
It's old Flo Coach. We haven't seen you in a long time.
I've just been at the coach works. Now I'm not so slow anymore.
Good luck! Now Lady and Arthur work well together. Lady often helps Arthur when there are too many fish vans for him to take, and in return, Arthur would look after the passengers for Lady. She would often run into Thomas at Elsbridge, where they would exchange passengers and tell each other about how everything's going on their branch lines. And so we have come to the end of our story, but this doesn't necessarily mean it's done. For Lady, this is just the beginning. Who knows what adventures lie ahead? But for now, this is the end of the story of Thomas and the Lost Engine. Made for kids? Oh, orange bitch! Believe it to that, I say, you little bitches!